um, Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. I just got a notification and it says 10 words the Sigma INFJ says to a narcissist that instantly inflicts emotional damage. Oh my gosh. I don't know what today has in store for us, but I was just watching a video and the person on the video was like, Pisces is mean AF. And that, Pisceans are the meanest. And I'm just like, you be knowing. All right, guys, I'm going to be doing a reading for us. I have been really, really caught up in the entirety of this mental process, a mental process where I'm preparing to enter into the next part of whatever this journey is, this journey of mine and this journey we're taking together. And so, as I'm doing that, I am very much preparing myself for a lot of the different potentialities that are going to come into play. And it's this thing of like, how are you going to handle this period? Like the next month or two? How are you going to choose to handle it? Are you going to be, you know, on board for the things that need to happen, or are you going to be fighting it? Okay, so I'm going to get the cards ready. I just want to remind everyone we do still have that raffle going. This raffle is very, very important to me personally, simply because this is going to give me the ability to support board, my board members, and help with the cost of relocation. I'm trying to position my entire team in such a way where we can really begin pushing hard for all of our nonprofit work to go to that next level. Okay. So please, if you haven't already, go check out the raffle, soulworksynergistics.com/raffle. If you don't have the ability to purchase any tickets, it's only $1 per ticket. Please do share it out. Okay. It's really, really important to get the word out for us. I also have the Dear Emmy series going on. With this series, you simply write in. The link is soulworksynergistics.com/dear-emmy. And that will give you the ability to ask me questions. And I'll be picking questions to read and answer while I live stream. Okay. This is a specific series that we're doing. I don't think we've set the actual dates, like specific dates for a regular schedule, but that's definitely in the works. Okay. So this is not for a free reading. I won't be using any cards to answer questions. It's kind of like a Dear Abby situation, right? Where you're getting some clarity based on my opinions. Okay. And then, of course, if you would like to purchase a private session with me, if you'd like to book that private session, go to soulworksynergistics.com/Emmy-services. Now, my services are bomb, if I do say so myself. I love the work that I do because it's so gratifying. When I sit and share space with a client privately, it is not uncommon for the client to let me know how their life has changed. Okay. This is not some shameless plug. This is definitely what I experience. I'd say 90% of my sessions. I go out of my way to make sure the sessions have the most potent effect on the individual, the most potent, most empowering effects. So, I mean, I would book with me if I wasn't me. That's the truth. I would book with me if I wasn't me. All right, guys, if you would like to support our efforts to build the physical sanctuary campus, please check out soulworksynergistics.com/sanctuary. We are accepting donations, and these donations received for this particular link, they're earmarked to help build the actual sanctuary. Okay. Last but not least, if you would like to know what the heck is going on, what we have going on, what projects we're working on, anything that you might want to know about me and what I'm up to, you go to soulworksynergistics.com/projects. Okay. I do have a workshop coming up. I don't know if it's this coming weekend or next weekend. I'm not sure. But I do have a workshop that's coming up. It's a live virtual workshop. You can find it through the link soulworksynergistics.com/projects. And with this workshop, I'm going to be teaching the fundamentals of morphogenetic work. Okay. This is so you can learn how to harness your energy and your potentiality. That's really important. I mean, the environments that we're existing in these days is just not cute. It's not cute. And you really need to learn how to work your own energy and help yourself help yourself. Right. All right. So I asked what this reading was going to be about. And what I was told is there's a major challenge and it will change your life. It will change your life. Okay. So, another thing, I totally, like I said, I'm entering into this space of change where I'm preparing myself to take my proper place, whatever that means. I still don't fully know. And I'm making these preparations by really opening myself to retrieving more of my abilities, right? So I just want to read something to you guys. Um, I kind of want to incorporate um, I kind of want to incorporate some numerology so we get an idea of the energy of today. And what forgot what today is. So let me look at the date. Let me look at the date. So 5 plus 3 is 8, 8, 10, 12, 14, 5. Today is a 5-day. Okay. 5 day. So if you've made specific plans for today, these could become disrupted because of changeable and unstable atmosphere. A changeable and unstable atmosphere is around you now. You may actually decide to do things in a different way now, which is probably a good thing. A phone call, email, or letter could surprise you, and it could even take you out of the house or workplace on a kind of adventure. Everything is up in the air today, and while it could be fun, it could also be a bit frustrating. So, today is a 5 day, and it's important for us to begin kind of priming ourselves to receive the different types of change and the different directions this change could send us. If you want to allow yourself a moment to really quantify how this change will affect your life, not just today, but letting today trigger different types of shifting. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm just saying. I'm going to say it because I said it. I'm going to say it because I said it. I'm going to say it because I said it. Lisa says, I bet my life already changed for the better just from being here. So I can only imagine a private session. Oh, thank you, Lisa. If you guys have ever had a private session with me, and you're definitely not obligated to share, but if you've ever had a private session with me and you want to share really quick in the comments how that affected you, what your experience was it um was it more than what you thought it would be? Was it something like, whoa, I thought I was just going to get a card reading, but this is so far beyond what I thought this was going to be? Definitely share it. Feel free to share. Okay. Feel free to share. All right, I'm just getting the cards ready for us. So it's a 5 type of day, 5 being the number of change, a lot of change. The message that I got, was about major change to begin with. So that's interesting. Definitely interesting. Definitely something that I would make sure I kind of pay attention to. Um, Simply because when we pay attention to the way things change, we then begin to allow ourselves to flow within that space of change, right? Flowing is so super important. It's just so super duper important. I cannot emphasize that enough. All right. Here goes. Let's get started, guys. Ooh, Guardian in reverse. Mm, 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 mm. You don't need a guardian or guide. Now is the time for you to begin really wrapping your mind around the need to accept that you can guide yourself. Your internal guidance is on point. It is on point. Stop trying to gaslight yourself into believing you have no idea what's going on with yourself in your life. That's not true. You know what's going on. You know people's intentions. You know, you know, you know. Okay? Stop trying to tell yourself that you're wrong, that you're imagining things. You're not. You're observing, and people, circumstance, life is showing you what you need to know. You just don't want to know. You don't want to be confirmed with this like really intense message because it's a difficult thing to accept. You have to. You have to. Okay? Thank you for sharing that, Alexandra. I know I ended up crying with you. She says my private session was amazing. I cried just seeing Emmy. I was so emotional to see her. I cried with you. I was just like, oh my God, why are you crying? And then I cried with her. I'm just saying. All right, let's see. Respect in reverse. So, ooh, y'all, this is huge. This is huge. I wonder if sometimes I receive disrespect from other people, not because it's my fault, not because it's what I deserve, but because something within me has made them feel as though they have my permission to be disrespectful with me or towards me. You don't have my permission. Learn your proper place. What I found that a lot of the times I unknowingly project out into my environment my very insecurities, and that invites the people who are capable and willing of being that projection. Okay. So I think this is an invitation, that this is an invitation for all of us to begin really no longer inviting that kind of caca. When you can address the issue within yourself, the issue will not need to be projected outside of yourself in order for you to become aware that there's an issue. This is what I keep learning every single time. This is what I learn about myself and my life every single time. Okay. Ocean Lover says, there are not enough words beyond more than what I thought I was in for. It was the beginning of a series of the most beautiful, life changing events. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Ocean Lover. That's huge. Yes, you guys, if you want to share your Emmy experience, put in the comments hashtag my Emmy experience, and then definitely share what your experience was, whether it's a private session or it's just here in the comments of the public live streams. This is also a very profound, very sacred space, right? And so it doesn't matter if you've had a session with me before privately or not. None of that matters. Please do share what your experience is. Hashtag my Emmy experience and let me know. Hey, sometimes y'all need a reminder that your girl doesn't understand the gravity of the work that I do. And that's the truth. It's a little bit embarrassing to admit that. But that's actually I don't understand the gravity of the work that I do. I'm in the active process for the past week or two, actively learning the gravity of the work that I'm doing. I need to begin really just wrapping my brain around it, you know? Just really wrapping my brain around it. And when you guys share the way you experience time spent with me, whether it's a public forum or a private session, it really helps me to better understand just how distorted my view is about myself, my work, and the gravity of that work. Okay. So, fertility in reverse. This is about not understanding how your mindset, your perception, however, the traumas you've experienced are being stored within you, are actually blocking you from bringing to fruition a lot of the things that you need, a lot of the experiences, connections, all of that. Um, let's see. Eliza says, I've never had a session, but I've had several life altering realizations here. Ah! Oh my God. Growing here with everyone else is also its own experience. Ah! Oh my God. I'm really trying not to get. That's huge. Huge. Because I'm going to be honest, half the time I'm like, I don't even know why I live stream. Sometimes I'm just so full of caca. I have attitude problems. Why can't I just behave myself? And that I'm not creating a space that's as beneficial as it possibly can be for all of you guys. And it weighs heavy on me. And reading that, I've had several life altering realizations here in this space. That's a huge thing. That's huge, huge. Lisa says, I've never had a private, but I've had expedites, and every time I received one, felt so much better, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. Beautiful experience. You can feel it. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for that. I love it, you guys. My heart is beating fast. um, Magic in reverse. Allowing yourself to use your magic to bring you back to the place where you need to be, right? Magic in reverse. Some would say it's this upside down experience, this upside down intention, this upside down whatever. No, I'm choosing to receive this message in the way that I felt it right when I felt it, which is allowing your magical self, your magical tendencies to pull you back to this place where you need to be. For some of us, we kind of dropped off that beaten path, right? We kind of just oops, took a wrong turn, you know? And was it a wrong turn? No, you learned things that you needed to learn. And maybe it's just now time for you to get back to the place that you need to be. Okay. Rainbow Flame says, was definitely something that began the foundation of loving myself. I'm going to cry for real. From that moment on, I began to allow my life to shift towards making room for compassion and true love with myself. Mm. Because then it becomes this thing of confirmation that we are growing together, that I'm not just convincing myself that in allowing y'all to see who I am, who I actually am, and just being my most organic, authentic self, that I'm giving you the opportunity to begin really falling in love with yourself as well. Because sometimes I'm like, girl, you're full of shit. You're so full of shit. You just having an attitude. This is not even about helping people to feel comfortable with being who they are. You just have an attitude problem today. And it's maybe some days I do, but I recognize even in those moments of attitude problem, I'm setting the foundation to help other people set their own foundation, to begin viewing themselves in a way that will facilitate their self-love journey. Self-love is not just about, um, you know, having spa days and buying yourself things and taking yourself out to dinner and, those type of things. It's not always just that. It's not always just that. Nancy Grace says, I've never had a private or expedites with her, but I share space with her every day and she's helped me grow. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for that. And you guys don't have to have had a private session with me. You really don't. So she says, I haven't had a private session, but I have learned so much about myself and my true strength, learning that I'm not crazy with the things I feel and accepting myself more and more. See what I'm saying? Like, do you know how long? Do you guys know how long I've thought I was crazy? How long I've allowed other people to enter into the real estate of my brain and convince me that I'm crazy. I'm not. I'm not. And just because science and allopathic medicine does not have the capacity to quantify me as an individual and my abilities does not mean I'm making things up. There is this video. Oh my gosh. This video, it pops up on my Facebook here and there. It's a video of Pedro talking to me. Pedro the fairy. He's been caught on video quite a few times. And this one time I didn't realize he would be caught on video. And he was talking to me and I was like, "Oh my God." And you see him fly out of my ear. And it was just this moment of like, I felt like crying because it was like, I'm not crazy. These things talk to me. I'm not experiencing some sort of mental breakdown. These are things that science can't quite explain, but that doesn't mean they're not happening, right? Mm, 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 mm. Carmen says, I've had both public and private sessions, both equally life changing. Since the very first number wars, quick reading that I won, I felt safe and understood without even meeting her before. Thank you for that. I was having a conversation um, about how, that's one of the biggest things for me in my heart is that people feel safe with me and that I go out of my way to earn that trust, to be worthy of it, right? Billy says, my first session with Emmy and every moment of experiencing the live streams for years has taught me and showed me how to allow empowerment of self and gentleness with others, accepting all parts. I love that. Billy, you've been with me for a long time. You've been with me for a very long time. Yes, you have. Dolphin Dream says, where do I start? I've grown and I've learned so much through your reflections, even through my darkest times, it seems. I know I'm not alone here. Oh, I love this. I'm healing. Yes, 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 yes. And that's the thing. That's what makes this space so sacred is that we get the opportunity to see ourselves as we are and heal where we are, where you don't have to do this extra thing. And this is part of what like it really gets me when people are like, no, you should have your sessions for free and stuff. It's like I make it a point to share space every morning as much as I can. That's not enough. It's not enough to have gone out of my way and taken myself so far out of my comfort zone as someone who does not like to share about myself at all. I've taken myself out of my comfort zone. Every day I do, in order to create a space so sacred for us to be able to build the most beautiful, empowering community. That's not enough. And then it's this thing of, well, I mean, for some people, nothing you do is ever going to be enough. And boom, damn. Moment of self love. It's a moment of self love. Like, oh, it's not that I'm not giving enough. It's that I'm faced with someone who just can't take enough. They want to take, right? So, going back to what this reading is about, there's a major challenge and it will change your life. And if you can see the person in front of you is a person who has no problem taking, feeling entitled to you, your energy, your sacredness. I mean, for me, it's a lot easier to dismiss you. And I'm learning in those instances, it's absolutely okay. Not just okay, but necessary. Necessary. When you waste your time on that type of energy, situation, connection, whatever it is, you are using energy that you can use to manifest what you want and need. And instead, you're wasting it on that, something that's not worth your time, your effort, your sacred energy. I'm reaching a point where I'm learning to be okay with letting go of people. I'm learning that I don't have to do it in a crazy way, meaning like it doesn't have to be this dragged out fight, argument, none of that. It could just be like, I'm sorry, we're not aligned. Um it's time to let go. Our paths have diverged. I wish you the best. I don't need to wait until you give me this undeniable reason, right? Because I noticed in the past, um, my sense of loyalty to people, um, it would cause me to continue to hold on until they give me this undeniable reason so that at least now I know, like, this is really not a viable connection. And I wasted so much of my energy and my time doing that. So now it's this thing of, before it becomes that, let me go ahead, you know, let me go ahead and just really allow myself, really just allow myself to open my hand. And if you blow away, you blow away. And it's not me throwing you away, it's me allowing the winds of change to remove that which no longer carries a specific level of weight for me. And then my mind goes to this concept of, sometimes when we purchase things, we base the quality on how heavy it is, right? If it feels too light and, you know, it's something that traditionally should be heavier, we think that it's cheap. So I only want quality things in my life at this point, things that empower me to take another courageous step forward towards whatever it is my life is bringing me towards. I invite you to find your courage to take these steps forward towards whatever it is your life is bringing you to. There is just a shift right now. Do you feel it? This moment of recognition. Mm, I don't have to cope. This is my norm. This is my place of peace. This is my center. I was reading this book, and it was this thing of, when you move too much and you move too much, and that's me emphasizing, but that's also me coping. That's me coping because, as I said, publicly speaking gives me a lot of anxiety, you know? And I just caught myself and I was like, stop rocking. This is not a time that needs to be coped through. This is a time that you need to be fully present and fully in control of yourself, your movement, your energy. And I'm realizing right now in this moment, as I'm controlling myself, the rocking, the excessive movement, that's me surging energy for more truth to come out and me being afraid for that truth to be said. I don't need to rock. I need to channel that energy for what it's meant to do, which is speak a truth so profound it will forever stick with you. A truth that is not carefully curated, a truth that is not carefully written out beforehand just so it can sound perfect, a truth that is perfect because it exists. And it's simply bringing your awareness to the existence of this truth by verbalizing it, by allowing myself to honor the energy that flows through me and releasing that energy as streams of spoken truth, a level of divinity so profound that it will forever stay with you. And this is me taking another step forward with grace and compassion for self. At no point should I feel ashamed for the ways in which I cope. At no point should I have guilt about being actively in a process of finding more courage. It's a beautiful thing to be immersed in a community of reflections of myself as someone who has never fit in to any environment, no matter how welcome that environment has made me feel. I've never felt at home because none of those places were home. And now, here in this space, I'm home. I'm home here with you. And I hope you feel at home as well, at home enough to recognize I am a projection of your greatness, asking you to join me in this space of greatness so that you can begin really truly living your purpose within a space of grace, this compassion for self, a type of self love that will allow you to reach higher levels of awareness of who you are in this moment. Autumn. By autumn, the unnecessary leaves will drop. The things that are no longer necessary for you in your journey will be let go of. Allow for the process to occur. Don't rush it, just allow. There is a season for every single portion of your journey here on earth. Just like the seasons change, so do the seasons of your life. Okay? So do the people. Sometimes people will remain in your life, in your journey. Other times, people will cycle in and cycle out. It is as it should be. Foundation. You and I are laying the foundation for the rest of our lives right now. You and I together are laying the collective foundation for the collective whole. What is our mission? To make Earth feel like home for as long as we're here. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. When was the last time Earth felt like home to you? We have all of these spiritual people who make it a point to really alienate themselves from their own human lineage. Earth is our home. As long as you are in human form, Earth is your home. Let go of the titles that cause you to believe that you should not feel at home here on Earth. And if Earth and your experience here has been subpar, you are being tasked by your own soul to be the impetus of change, that impetus, that spark, that catalytic change. Change your environment by first changing yourself. Change your environment by first changing yourself. Not because you're less than, not because you're broken, but because you deserve to experience the full motion and emotion of a human life. This life is a gift, a gift unto you and a gift unto others. Your existence, when you allow yourself to live with purpose, it gifts everyone who witnesses you an opportunity to receive the gift that you are. You are the gift. It's not your abilities. It's not your knowing. It's not your services that are the gift. No, it's you as a person, you as a totality. You are the gift. A major challenge is being presented to you. Stop seeing life as nothing but a series of tests and begin to shift your perception so you can see your life as a series of opportunities to help you understand how well you've learned the lessons life has given. They're not just tests. The word test carries with it such stigma, right? There's stigma attached to the word test. But really, what is a test? Something that will allow you to recognize how well you've learned what it was you were learning, your level of mastery for whatever lesson your life is teaching you. We talk about ascended masters coming to this earth and helping us. What if they're already here? What if it's you? What if? What if? Incubation. This challenge has to do with rebirth. This challenge is about allowing yourself to continue baking for as long as you need. We don't need any more experiences that are half baked. We just don't. And then we wonder why we struggle with processing, digesting life and its events. Well, I mean, half cooked food kind of can give you parasites. It kind of can upset your stomach, can it not? I mean, depending on what it is, like in my culture, there's this root called a cassava, and cassava is actually toxic. It will really mess you up. It has to be prepared just right and cooked properly so that the toxins are no longer toxic, so that it doesn't affect you in such a negative manner, right? Banishment, hex, in reverse. Something, someone is calling you back. Oh, they heard something. They're, oh, ouch. Mm. It's this sense of don't let go. I'm moving as fast as I can through the lessons that are before me. Don't let go. This sense of Don't replace me. I'm doing what I think I need to do so that I can be worthy of you. Don't let me go. I don't know if this is like a personal message for me or what. I say that, I ask that question because now I hear Michael like, "Are you going to respond?" And I was like, "Do I get to ask who that is?" And he says, "No." So I'll respond because I'm living in courage today, right? I'm taking these courageous steps forward. I'm living within my space of courage. And that space of courage has room for fear. Okay. So I'm kind of like, I don't want to just randomly answer this because I don't know who's saying it. Um, but my courage tells me it's important to share. I have room in my heart for more than just one person. If it's within your destiny to be a part of my life, I could never actually let go. Whether I want to or not, that's not something I'm capable of. I cannot usurp the will of my own soul. So, my answer, you'll never be replaced. That seat will remain empty until you're ready to sit in it. So, don't worry. Work on whatever you need to work on. Become the greatest expression of yourself. And then find me again. Find me and we'll talk. Talk about whatever our souls need us to talk about. And we'll allow whatever experiences need to be experienced. Then we'll learn the ways in which our souls are providing us opportunities to gain further awareness, a ripening, a deepening of this inner, under, and overstanding of self and soul. Life is beautiful because we'll make it such. Live in your courage, just like I'm living in mine. And it doesn't matter who it is that I'm addressing, because I honestly don't know. I just know I have to step into a even higher level of courage and allow myself to be witnessed as I am, an individual who has the capacity to love beyond all faults, beyond all transgressions. So long as you are not toxic to me or for me, I can overlook everything. That's just the person that I am. As long as you are not toxic for me or to me, I can overlook everything, regardless of the history or lack thereof. That is the person that I am. And it's not a show of weakness. Quite the contrary. It's a show of true strength and my recognition of that. That I don't have to be afraid of what you did before. I've gotten through that. I've healed beyond it. And I have no fear of you now. When was the last time you allowed yourself to enter into that space where you don't have a fear of an individual? Where you give yourself the proper credit by recognizing you've overcome whatever it was this person brought into your life. And again, emphasis on as long as you are not toxic to me or for me, I can overlook that and we can have conversations so that we can determine what it is we need to learn together. Or maybe learn why it's best to remain apart. I'm open to experiencing whatever life asks me to experience at this point. I'm very open to that. Power. And that's how you step into your power. That's how you step into this space of grace. A grace so divine that you're no longer berating yourself for not knowing, not doing, not blah, 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 blah. You're attacking yourself for not effectively avoiding the very thing that help you to learn all of these things that you've learned. I don't need to attack myself over some perceived failure from yesterday, last week, last month, last year, many years ago, whatever it is. Whatever it is, I don't need to attack myself. I don't need to convince myself that I messed up. Did I mess up or did I learn? Exactly. Did I mess up or did I learn? You know how many things I've learned in life? Because I've given myself the opportunity to experience things in life. There's a major challenge and it will change your life. What is the challenge? Exiting out of that space of crippled fear. Allowing yourself to stand as a testament to your strength, not just sit, not just be a testament. No, specific positioning. I want you to stand with chin held high in defiance to your fear. Use your energy with intention, not like a child just looking for ways to burn up that energy. And I'm finding as I'm talking to you guys, controlling myself in my space, I'm speaking with much more intention, with much more clarity and grace for self, so that I could stand as more of a testament, an even more powerful testament to the importance and the value of self-love and intention. It's important. Prosperity in reverse. The only reason you haven't prospered is because you have sowed your seeds in the very environment it cannot grow. So we see these, I guess, shafts of wheat, right? We see the wheat, it's upside down. Can you plant wheat seeds in the air? Probably not. The wheat seeds probably need to remain moist. So they're probably not going to do well in the air. When you plant things in the material that is not conducive to its growth and you leave it in that environment, then you wonder what's wrong with the seed. Why is it not growing? Are you serious? You're asking what is wrong with a seed that you put in the wrong environment and did not provide the proper nutrients and conditions for it to grow. But there's something wrong with the seed. Huh. That doesn't make sense. So what I've found, this journey that I've been on for the past couple years of cultivating plants, growing my own food, has been very interesting. When something happens to the plant, to the seedling, I don't say that was a bad seed. I go ahead and begin looking at information to help me understand the ways in which I failed to provide the proper environment for it to thrive. There's this condition that happens with seedlings often, especially when you grow them, when you start them indoors. You'll see the seedlings sprout, will come out of the ground and you'll be excited. And then all of a sudden, what appears to be perfectly fine suddenly is halfway dead the next day. Not dried up, but it's shriveled somehow. That has to do with fungus. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means I've given too much water. Fungus has grown. And as the baby seedling has started to grow, there are things that are happening beneath the soil that I cannot see. The fungus or fungus gnats and their larvae are eating away at the roots. This means that if love is liquid and you think that you can drown something in love to heal it, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. One of the most powerful decisions I make as a mother for my children is to discern when they need more water and when I need to kind of ease up a little bit. Like, all right, you got to process your emotions. I cannot just run to you because you're crying and be like, oh my God, oh my God. I'm not going to water your insecurities. That insecurity is the very thing that will lead to the growth of fungus and will eat away at your roots. It will cause your root system to remain shallow. And in that, how could you ever have a healthy plant producing beautiful, healthy foods when it doesn't have the proper root system? So there is that part where, my kid could be crying and I will make sure they know that I know they're crying. Like, hey, are you okay? They don't want to answer. Okay, let me know when you want to talk. All right. I'm going to be right here. Let me know. Okay. If you want to talk about something or if you need a hug, let me know. Okay. And sometimes I even have to go so far as to remind them it's okay to be disappointed. I'm going to let you cry for a little bit so you can process your feelings and have space. And if you want or need me to help you understand some of these large emotions, let me know. Okay. I'm going to be right here. Or, hey, I got to get back into the office. I got a few minutes. Let me know. Come into the office and let me know if you need a hug. All right. Before my session starts, let me know. And that's one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself, where we allow ourselves to process the emotion, the feeling. You realize society teaches us to ignore how we feel. Hell, even people in your environment, in your life, your family, your friends. I'm thinking about several people in the past who have told me that basically they view me as unstable because I can feel emotions during live streams. And I'm assuming it makes them uncomfortable to see me cry. And so these handful of people now see me as unstable. Well, maybe you don't belong in my life. And I'm actually considering that today. Maybe these are people who need different friends than me, right? They need someone else who doesn't make them feel uncomfortable by processing life, by being a whole person, by experiencing, witnessing their whole being wellness process. I think for me personally, the challenge is in no longer seeing myself in the way that I do, which is very distorted, right? This very distorted view of myself. And if I can work on this successfully and allow myself to really see who I am, who I've become, who I was, who I am in the process of becoming, I will change my life forever. You guys, something has shifted, something profound. I've been talking about, and it's typically private conversations, about doing speaking engagements and yada, 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 right? Like in person speaking engagements. And my throat chakra is clearing. And I've been afraid to do it. I've been afraid to do it, and I've been afraid to manifest it. And it's been something that's been so just, like, I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. And yesterday I went out with my family to run errands. We went to the mall, we went to the bookstore, and something shifted inside me because I wasn't going to get anything at the bookstore. I was just like, girl, be honest. You don't have time to even read the digital PDFs, much less the physical books. I have this insane love affair with the written word. I love books. Like I love the feel of the pages against my skin. I love it. And so we get in there and something shifted inside me. And when that shifted, I found myself walking towards one of the workers and asking them, "Hi, where do you keep your public speaking books?" And she showed me. And then she left me to that area, and I was intimidated. I was like, "Well, what book would I choose?" And I stood there for quite a few minutes just staring at the books. And I take that as an actual physiological and psychological symptomatic presentation of my fear of taking that next step forward. And so I told myself, just thumb through all the books. Stop being this way. Touch the books. Whatever calls to you, pick it up. And so I picked up quite a few books. And then I went and walked through other areas and picked up even more and even more. And I didn't had a stack of books. I had a stack. And then I went to the children's area and I sat down on the stage. For some reason, I couldn't find anywhere to sit. And I knew there is an area in every Barnes and Noble that has a little mini stage in the children's area. So I sat on that stage and I went through the books. One by one, the books were put in a pile because I knew they weren't something I resonated with. One by one, I recognized that I was going to purchase something, invest in something that was going to be a waste of my time. So I made a pile. I didn't recognize the book that I began thumbing through. I didn't look at the title. I was just getting frustrated with myself. And so what I did, I picked up the book and I opened it and I began thumbing through it a little bit. And there was this resonance, like this is the one. This is the book. This is the book. I'm going to get this book because it basically says things that describes me as a person that I am already. And so that tells me confirmation of that belief, that acceptance that I wasn't chosen to be a public speaker. No, I was custom created by God to fill this role. It was describing me to a T. And I was like, I felt the butterflies high up in my chest. Like, okay, this is an experience based in love. I'll buy this book. And I close the book to see what the title is. mm, mm, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm struggling to communicate. Um, I'm struggling to find my courage to share right now. So, If I can't find the words, I'll just show you. Mm. So, courage in baby steps, right? Recognizing that if I don't have the courage to talk about it, I can at the very least find the courage to show you. And so now I come to the conclusion the way that I'll do it is already in my hands. And I don't mean the book. Because really, the book, although it's beautifully written, it's really just reiterating the things that I already believe, the ways in which I already exist. And I don't know if I would ever actually be on a TED Talk stage. And I don't know that I wouldn't be on the largest TED Talk stage. I just know that in this moment, I have to find my courage to be who I am. I am already this. I am already a speaker. I am a writer. I am a speaker. I am a creator of thought and form. And the major challenge is giving myself the freedom to exist as I was designed to exist. We struggle with the things we struggle with because we try to be something we're not. When was the last time you gave yourself permission to recognize you struggle with the smallness of your life because you were never designed to be small? When was the last time? When was the last time you had the courage to be that honest with yourself? I struggle with the smallness of my life because I was not designed to be this small. The secret that you're keeping is not a secret. I'm over here thinking that I was successful at keeping a secret the ways in which my mind does not function like other people's, right? That I think differently, I process differently, I pay attention differently. Whatever I thought I was hiding, I was only hiding it from myself. Whatever truth about you you think you are hiding, you're only hiding it from yourself. The people who are liars, the people who take advantage of others, the people who are not good people, and they think they're hiding it. They're only hiding it from themselves. Just like the people who think they're bad, the people who think they're horrible and not worth it, that they're less than what they actually are. You think that's how other people see you, but I promise you, they see you as something so far removed from that. They see the reality of who you are and what you are. And the people who attack you and you're a good person, honey, they see you more clearly than most others. Why do you think they attack you? Because they recognize the greatness that you are. And while you are in the process of also recognizing that greatness, what's happening is they're exploiting this period that you haven't yet tapped into that greatness. Oh my gosh. Michelle. Michelle says, we spent over 10 years trying to figure out health issues in our family. After one session with Emmy, we knew what was wrong and healing began. Find your courage. Find your courage. That hits me deeply for multiple reasons. That hits me so deep because, first and foremost, to be able to affect that type of change after such a prolonged period of suffering and struggle. Secondly, it helps to further remind me to not choose to hide again, because people are waiting for me to be able to see the things they're trying so hard to see. And seeing is not enough. Being able to be present and speak openly with no fear, or with courage in the face of fear, is also necessary. And the most difficult is the third. That my struggle to go through the process that I'm in right now has caused me to delay my presence in people's lives. And that although they would never say that it's your fault I suffered for so long, Emmy, because you took so long to give us the opportunity to find you. Although they'd never say that. I feel that so deeply. I feel it so deeply. that in dragging my feet, people were also dragged. And the more I'm reminded, the more I stand in my resolve to never hide again, to continue to be as visible, if not more so, so that I can begin the process of forgiving myself for being in a process, so that I can begin the process of coming to terms with the fact that it needed to take this long for me to come to terms with a purpose so profound. And that I need to accept the fact that I see no gravity in this, despite the depth of gravity in everything I do. And it's not a lack of confidence, it's not a lack of a sense of worth. It's that that is the very part of me that will always keep me humble. That is the part of me that will always keep me functioning in the way I was designed to, here in service to humanity, not to be lifted above others, but instead to serve as a platform to lift others up. We go through the process we need to go through when we go through it, for as long as we need to go through it. And I can sit here and continue to remain in that space where I feel badly because I could have helped Michelle and her family sooner, that it didn't have to be 10 years, because that's the reality of it. I've been able to do what I do since I was a child. But do I need to stay in that space of seeing myself yet again in a distorted manner? Or can I go ahead and rise to this challenge that's being presented and allow you to see me flow through the process in real time? There was nothing I could have done sooner than when it was actually done. Not because I lack the capacity, the ability, the gifts, no, but because I lack the understanding, the self love, the self forgiveness, the willingness. I was consumed by fear, fear of failure to assimilate into a group. I came into this life to change. So, as my fear has been shed layer by layer, bit by bit, more and more I see this entire time I've been exactly what I need to be when I needed to be it. So, no, I'm not late, nor am I on time. I am a limitless, timeless gift, perpetually unfolding. And in each petal that opens, another gift revealed, a perpetually blooming lotus at home in the muck, not trying to create more chaos, just learning how to exist with grace within it. coming to terms with what you were created to do. It's a very difficult process. It is a major challenge, but I promise it will change your life. These are not tidbits of you that will just be given to you. You must work to uncover it deep within you. You have to. Every shovelful of dirt has to be removed one at a time. Cycles, excuse me, these are nothing but cycles that you go through. Cycles that help you to understand more and more about yourself and your purpose. Clearance, cleaning out what no longer is necessary, being rid of the clutter, clearing space, that unnecessary presence, the unnecessary people, they need to be allowed to be cleared out so that the necessary people can take their rightful place. You came into this life in agreement with a specific team of souls. You will achieve a specific thing with this team that you incarnated with. Some of them you already know. Some of them you still need to cross paths. Others are working so hard to find their way back to you. Allow everything to unfold as it's designed to unfold. Winter, it's no longer upside down. You are fortified to withstand inclement weather, the inclement weather of life. You are fortified to be able to withstand that. Rebirth, allowing yourself to reborn into the purpose you were created for. Allowing the metaphoric shamanic death of the parts of you that aren't actually you. Are you aware? A large portion of your personality, of your perception of your identity, is not actually you. That your identity as you know it right now is this combination of the opinions of every person you've come across up to this point. And that's why I couldn't stand myself for much of my life. I couldn't stand myself. The more I let go of what people tell me to be through their words, through their actions, through their expectations, the more room I have to be just who I am. And the more I become who I am, as I am, the more I enjoy my own company, the more I love myself, the more I come to this conclusion like, if I wasn't me, I would totally be my own friend. Like, it's funny, it's intense, it's just like the most beautiful savory mix of all the different flavors. And it comes together so beautifully. I love it. I love it. I love who I am. I love who I am. And those days where I used to just stay quiet as people say offensive things to me, about me, not no more. I wish a motherfucker would. I wish a motherfucker would give me the opportunity to stand up for myself yet again so that I can further exercise the demons of my past. Remove those bitches that cause insecurities. I don't fucking think so. I wish a motherfucker would. Help me to identify the other areas where those insecurities still hide so I can remove them. They're no longer worthy of me. I don't think so. You don't like when I speak up for myself? That means you don't like me. So if you don't like me, bitch, be gone. Go on then. Be gone. Take all your little crystals, gather them all up, carry them down the block, make a right at the light, go down another block, make a left, make another right, and find out where the fuck you got me twisted. This is who I am, and this is who I will remain. I will grow in my perfect time and my perfect measure as dictated by my soul. No other human or being in creation can dictate to me how I'm going to grow. Same applies for y'all. Don't let people tell you, containment. What's the reality? That you cannot contain a woman like me. Not with promises, not with attacks. I will not be contained. I'm not just a cup of water. I'm the entire ocean. I exist at depths that would destroy you. Stay on the shoreline and admire me from there. Unless you know how to swim, unless you have no need to come up for air, save yourself. Save yourself the hurt feelings, the bruised ego, because the ocean has no mercy for those that don't know her ways. Ask any sailor. Ask any sailor. The ocean has no mercy. Learn her ways or drown. And it's time for me and all of you to return back to this space of existing where you know, beyond any shadow of any doubt, you are the ocean, so vast and so deep, so much life existing deep within you, so much life. Homecoming. Something, someone is coming home. Good. Good. Come home. Come home, be home, rest, replenish, regain your sense of self, participation in reverse. Participate in the things you choose to participate in, not the things that people force you to be part of. No. One of the greatest punishments someone like me could give is to no longer participate in whatever it is you're trying to force me to participate in. To give you absolutely no attention, no energy, no nothing. I don't even care enough to wish you ill will. You see, what most people don't realize, when you get angry at someone, it's because there's this opposing polarity that also exists there. You need the two, right? Now, as they separate and become more polarized, they serve as the balance, an anchor point. If you are way out here because you hate someone, that means there is an equal counterpart way over here, which tells me you quietly, in your heart of hearts, love them so deeply. It's not for a lack of love that I don't even want you to be hurt. It's for the absence of it. I have zero desires for anything to do with you. And for people who have experienced that because they've done something at some point to absolutely disrespect the sovereignty of my sacredness, I would say, please comment your experience, how that made you feel. But that's right. Your ability to comment was taken away as well. Complete removal. Yeah, it's mean. But so is trying to force myself to shut myself up so that I can better cater to you and your preferences. That's not even a need. It's not even a need. They would prefer that the meanness be placed on my plate, not theirs. No, honey, when you contribute to a recipe that leads to a mean dish, the cook doesn't eat their own food. That's what my aunt had taught me as a child. She used to always say that when she cooks, she can't eat. She doesn't want to eat the food that she cooks. She spent all that time cooking it, right? She doesn't want to eat it. So, you want me to serve up a dish? You eat it. I will no longer be mean to myself in exchange for sparing the feelings of someone who never cared enough to understand what they were doing to my own. And it's not a tit for tat thing. It's I'm done. I'm out. Don't call me, don't message me. You no longer exist to me. Well, I mean, no, like I still exist, not to me. There's a difference there. Not to me, because you're not going to get anything from me. Not attention, not time, not focus, not even latent consideration. No. You go on and you continue living your life. You no longer exist to me. And that's just that. Okay. Mind in reverse. Don't let people get up in your mind and try and convince you that what you need to do for you is mean, is inconvenient for them, is the wrong thing because it's mean and inconvenient for them. No. Silence. Someone is just wanting so badly to communicate. They no longer want silence. I don't know that this is someone that's toxic to you or for you. Um Words left unspoken. They run consistently through their thoughts, those words that were left unspoken, the words that they wish, they hope, they prayed were picked up by you and your intuition. Maybe you weren't paying attention. So here's the thing. I'm highly intuitive. I can sense people's thoughts. Like things like that. But I try and make it a point to never hone in on it. Like, I don't want to know anything about you that you don't tell me yourself with your mouth. I don't. I respect your sovereignty. I respect you. And people will often, it's very often, very common for people to do this. They'll think that I know everything. And it's like, I mean, did you tell me? Did you show me? Because if you didn't, there's no reason I should know that. And I think for this person, whoever this is, they have this huge regret of not saying the things that they thought you already knew. It's this intense energy. Postponement. Things had to be postponed. There were things that were outside of the lines that needed to I guess you could say needed to um, be erased and redrawn, right? Stress in reverse. Like there's nothing that's really necessary to stress about. That monkey mind is the very thing that's going to burst your bubble. Remember, we have the mind card and it was in reverse, right? you need to be aware of the way your processes are creating the very thing that is causing you to struggle and suffer more. The master. How do you master the lessons of your life? How do you learn? And I've come across just a few, not too many, but I've come across a few people who want to learn something, but they keep talking. They keep talking in order to validate themselves so that they can, have other people be like, oh my God, you're so smart and this and that. And the only thing I can think of in my head is how do you ever learn if you never shut up? Like, do you want to learn or do you want to be the teacher? Because if you're here to learn something, you can't also be the teacher. And for these people, it's hard for them to just be quiet, sit still for a second and be quiet. Allow yourself to observe what's happening in the space of learning. It's a space of learning where we learn based on our learning style, not because there's someone there that keeps spouting off, saying all these things that clearly are regurgitated from some unidentifiable source, just a regurgitation of regurgitation of regurgitation. They don't even know what they're regurgitating. See, I can never identify myself as a teacher. Although I function as one, I don't identify as one. Why? Because I'm not here to dominate your thoughts or process. I'm here simply to share. And you have the right, the sovereign right, to determine for yourself if I'm going to be your teacher, if the words I share are teaching you, actively teaching you. It's just like the concept of a high priestess. Like, you can't just self identify as a high priestess. It's this thing of the people around you need to see you as that. Like, the lion doesn't identify as the lion. The lion doesn't walk around trying to convince people that he is a king of the jungle. No, it is up to the people to see the lion and recognize this is a feline royalty that's walking past me. Morality. Someone's having an issue with morals. Okay, so I don't know. I get this sense of like someone feels like it's a moral question of reaching out. Um, I don't know. Like, listen, please listen. Leave it up to a person to decide what they determine to be moral or not. Don't make decisions for other people. You think like, oh, I want to reach out to I want to reach out to my friend, but they're of, you know, the gender that is what I'm sexually oriented towards, and they're in a relationship. So I don't want to reach out and give them information or have conversation with them simply because it's immoral for me to reach out to someone in a relationship. Like, are you assuming that they have no morals themselves? That you're just such a hot shit that the moment you reach out, they're just like, what, going to disrespect their relationship? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're not the morality police. As long as you approach with respect and no malignant undertones in your hidden agenda, uh what's immoral about that? A conversation is sacred. What taints it is the intention of the speakers. Is it your intention to degrade or defile their relationship? Because if it is, then that's one thing. And if it's not, then that's another. Letting go in reverse. This is someone who refuses to let go. This is someone who keeps holding on to the same mindset that has tormented them this entire time. I mean, honestly, how long has it been? How long have you been tormenting yourself? How long have you been allowing yourself to continue to berate yourself for something that maybe you didn't have that type of power? I don't know if you knew that. You know what I mean? Rebirth in reverse. This is someone still holding on, this scarcity mindset, this fear of rejection. Be the lion, not the camel. There's a major challenge and it will change your life. If you can bring yourself to the space where you can begin addressing that challenge. Aloneness, this fear of being alone. Why? You're afraid to be by yourself. You're afraid to not have any distractions that prevent you from seeing yourself. Because I recognize when I was afraid to be alone, it was because of that. I didn't want to take a look at what I had done to me and my life. I needed distractions. Ooh, success. You'll get through this. As long as you allow yourself to receive, 6 being the number of receiving, you will get through this. But you have to allow yourself to get through this by receiving the experiences, the communication, completion. Oh, you're that missing piece. Either you are that missing piece or someone or you're going to realize that you have all the pieces you need. Yeah, someone doesn't want to let go. Let's see, free spirit. They don't feel like they're free. They feel like they're very confined to their life. They have to learn how to be fearless. Instead of being fearless, if I could humbly suggest, be courageous, because courage is not the lack of fear. Courage is what you do even in the presence of it, right? This is someone who doesn't want to let go. This is someone who definitely just, they don't want to let go, but at the same time, they're afraid of being honest about what they need from themselves, what they need from you. It's hard. It's hard. They don't believe in themselves because they lack compassion for themselves. They are struggling with working with their shadow aspects. This shadow work is hard, but when you finish that, you enter into a new chapter. Before you get to that new chapter, you have to have patience with yourself. You have to have patience with the individual. I can be super duper patient and I can be super duper impatient. Depends on what it is. It just depends on what it is. Okay, they're afraid to return because they're still going through that cycle of shedding and they haven't reached a higher level of understanding of themselves. They're fighting with themselves. They don't recognize they've entrapped themselves, and that's causing densification of that darkness. Yeah. So, warrior spirit, the trap, they're fighting with themselves. They're not realizing that they've caught themselves in their own trap. Um, they need to dispel darkness, but with it being in reverse, it's almost like they are choosing to exist in that shadowy state where they can't see. And I quote, "They are giving me so much money, power, fame. Why not let them? Just get up with me." Well, I mean, first and foremost, you can get up by yourself. Okay. Get up by yourself. Secondly, I will not accept any money, power, or fame that's being given to me. I have to earn it. Why not let them? Because when someone gives you that trifecta of uh, demonic latching, that comes at a price. That comes at a price. I'm not willing to pay the price for that. And that's why not. Just because it's being given to you, whatever it is, does not mean you need to accept it. Whatever is displaced in your field creates an exchange of energy, creates an exchange of energy. And that energetic exchange is the very thing that is often used to possess you. Don't backpedal now. So now suddenly you don't want it. And I'm going to be extra blunt right now. So blunt you can roll me and smoke it. Let me be extra blunt. See, you heard what I said and you understood how flawed that logic was. And so now you're backpedaling. Own it. It makes yourself look worse when suddenly you're backpedaling. Be honest. This is a place where you will be empowered in your honesty. You know what, Emmy? I didn't realize that. I didn't see it that way. Galactic assistance, allowing yourself to receive the assistance that you need. Okay. Allowing yourself to receive the assistance that you need. Let me assist you further. All of a sudden, I don't. They threaten my kids and mom, so I'm in a bit of a pickle. But here's the thing, here's the problem, okay? Here's the problem. Let me show you what else you've written. Okay? Clearly, you had no problem with it until I showed you the problem with it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Don't go on public forums trying to act like big pimpin', shot caller, big baller. I'm not just calling you out right now. I'm helping you to see how your own energy and your own behaviors are the very things that are enslaving you, your energy, your mind, to the degree where you are poisoning, threatening your local environment, your kids, and your mom. You guys, you see how powerful thought and what you do with that thought is. Hold yourself accountable. Be honest. I didn't realize that I was doing that. That's honest. There's nothing to call out about not realizing. Nothing at all. Okay. This is about really recognizing how your behaviors, your mindset, your logic of blah, 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 blah is the very thing that's further perpetuating whatever it is you're going through. Me personally, you want to threaten my family? Legal action is the only action. Legal action is the only action. That's that. That's that. Why do people not mess with me? Because they know, like, I'm not going to play with you. I had this guy, He thought it was a good idea to defraud me of nearly $2,000. And then he thought it was an even better idea to go on social media and brag about it. And then I thought it was a good idea to go ahead and file a report with the FBI for financial fraud. Yeah. As well as for blackmail. And then the FBI thought it was a good idea to reach out to him. Oops. I'm not a ride or die. See, I came to this realization not long ago. I'm sick and tired of that concept of ride or die. Where there will be people who will continue to ride you until you die. I'm not a ride or die. I'm just not. I'm not a ride or die anymore. I am a recognize. I am a be real. I am a powerful woman who recognizes that I have to be real. I know that's the same profile. Suddenly, what if legal field supports a criminals more than the victim? Now you're a victim. Abundance sigil in reverse. This emptying out of your cup before the good things, the new things, the real things are poured in, right? Dark interference in reverse. Just this upside downness of this parasitic situation. Okay. Like allowing the emptying of that. I'm going to be going live later this afternoon to do expedites. And if you guys want personal readings, you are absolutely welcome to join me for my expedites live stream. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of different energetic work that you guys can also partake in. The event is free, but if you want me to do work for you personally, that is cost per item you want done. It's a good way for us to be able to, or a good way for me and my team to be able to provide services for people who don't really have that additional budget. A lot of us, we don't have that additional budget. Okay. That's not something to be ashamed of. That is not something to be ashamed of. If you don't have an additional budget to be able to book a private session, that shouldn't necessarily keep you from getting the services that you need. So, the work that I do in a public live stream expedite setting, it's the same potency and efficacy of the work that I would do in a private setting, except it's condensed. You don't get that full time with me. You get however long I need to do the work I need to do for you, and it's publicly visible. Okay, so in exchange for that, the fee is very, very, very minimal in comparison to the cost of a private session. It's minimal. So you guys can join me for that. If you want me to assess your energetic field, you want me to do a personal reading for you, you want me to work on chakras, work on your kundalini, your abundance, manifestation template, all of these different things, join me for that. Okay, join me for that. 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is what time I will be live later today. So let me just get a final card. All righty. Here goes, guys. And just a little bit of a explanation for those who might be like, oh my God, why did Emmy just totally address someone like that? Okay. When you have a parasitic situation, I have a tendency, it's my personal tendency, to be much more reactive to that person's energy. So that's first and foremost. I'm not making excuses. I take ownership of my behavior, but I want people to understand why I behave the way I do. Secondly, a lot of people have that logic. And my attention went to that comment, that initial comment, because I felt myself become reactive to the parasitic energy. And yes, I'm saying that you have an actual demonic issue, sir. And so, with that, because I saw that and I'm aware that a lot of people have kind of a similar logic, I decided to address it in hopes that it will shift other people's logic so they don't experience any more of that crap. You know, that's why. It's not just me wanting to tell people off because, honey, let me tell you, I have the capacity to tell people off if I want, but that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to address something that I felt needed to be addressed. Okay. Yes, that's what I picked up. I can feel when people have demonic things inside them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be introducing a new assessment to expedite, and it is the demon doorway scan. Um, it's a type of biospiritual scanning, and I wouldn't recommend this for everyone if you're not ready to hear the truth. Okay? Because I'm going to be honest in the way I express the truth. I'm going to be raw with it, not intentionally mean, but raw. So the demon doorway scan is me scanning your morphogenetic template for behavioral patterns, mindsets, all sorts of different things within you that can be exploited by parasitic things and used to enter you. And if that's something you want to know, which you might not like what you hear, okay? I'm telling you right now, you might not like what you hear. If you don't like people telling you that part of the problem is that you have a victim mentality, that's me just identifying it. That's not me saying that you are less than because you think you're a victim. That's me like, oh, this is the reason why some of this stuff is happening. You just work on this and that stuff won't happen anymore. That stuff shouldn't be an issue. And that's how I take it. But I know I don't think like most people. So most people are like, oh my God, did she just say I'm a victim? Well, I mean, that's what your energy is saying. I'm not going to be like, I feel, I'm going to tell you. So demon doorway scan. Okay. That's going to be intense. This is going to be the first time I offer it in a public setting. So just kind of letting you guys know, not ready to hear the truth as is delivered by Emmy. I'm not going to try and tear you down, but there's a possibility you're going to hear things you maybe already know and don't want to know, don't want to hear. Okay, card number 41. Oops. Victory of Miriam. If you are longing to caress the moon, don't turn away from it. Oh, all right. If you are longing to caress the moon, don't turn away from it. If you are not ill, why do you crawl under a blanket to hide? If you are in a quarry of sweets, why do you look so sour? You live in the spring of life. Why are you withered inside? Don't fight against yourself. Don't flee from what could be your glory. Like a fearless moth, dive into the flame. Why be linked to your obsessions? Burn out in the flames until your heart and soul are enlightened. Get out of the old carcass and form yourself a new body. Why are you afraid of a fox when you descend from lions? Why be a lame ass when you have the strength of stallions? The beloved you seek will arrive to open the door to your fortune, for love is the key that opens all of your locks. You feel you are immortal, and I know you are divine. You feel you are not ready for the task, and I know that triumph is only moments away. You reach to me for protection, but you are me, and the protection that you seek is already with you. We are not apart. I am living through all that you are and all that you love, all that you have lost and all that you offer to me in surrender. I am in you as your courage and magnificence, and any task I send to you is simply one of the tasks for which you were born. You are an eagle with wings ready to soar. So I push you from the cliff top that you may know yourself. This oracle brings you a message of affirmation and success. Your victory is already assured. You are being led into it now, no matter if you believe it possible or not. And you are placing more faith in the appearance of distraction or obstacle in your utter success. Like, why believe in the fear more than the realization unfolding before you? You believe in a potentiality rather than accepting the actual reality as it is. No matter if you have forgotten for a moment that the divine lives in you as you, and that apparent failure is only a part of the process, the plan through which learning happens, serving the ultimate holy victory. Yes, your victory is inevitable. Whatever you set your mind to is what you will achieve. So you're being given this reminder from the Holy Mother Mary, also called Miriam, and the beloved divine presence of love that she serves. It is that presence that is real. It is the Holy Mother that is real. It is the divine in you that is real, and all else swirls around you so your soul can play. Woo! Every challenge and adventure and is opportunity for you to test your mettle and to be what you are in truth. That is so important to know, okay? To accept. Every challenge and adventure is an opportunity for you to test your mettle and to be what you are in truth. The eagle that flies requires space and open sky. The tigress that hunts requires hunger to drive her to fulfill her being and live her nature. You need what you need to realize your divine nature as a living, holy expression of the greatest love. So life is providing for you what your needs, what for you that your needs be met. Whatever may be troubling you or is soon to present itself is not a situation or a circumstance meant to bring you trouble. You just need to allow yourself to become more eagle eyed, beloved wild one. It's not what appears to be that is a source of challenge for you. Ooh, not at all. It's only how you're viewing the situation. So this ties into what I said earlier, where, I had heard this question be asked. It's this thing. It's this thing of this fear of being let go of, this fear of being replaced when in reality, you're the only thing that can fit that space, that you were designed to occupy that space and function. And this question of, will you have enough time to develop? Depends on you. Because really, in the divine sense of things, there is no time. Linear time, Gregorian calendars, those are constructs of a human mind painfully aware of its limitations and helplessness, that it tries to create order out of chaos, when in reality, chaos is a natural order of things. So there's this question: is Divine Mother really our mother? Well, what you write there is an adjective and a noun. Whatever is my mother would be capitalized. And if we were made in God's image, God's reflection, then that would mean there is a mother to that father figure. And if you don't believe in God in the traditional sense that religion teaches, well, then maybe I should share with you my concept of what God is. the everything, the nothing, and the spaces in between. The everything must first give to the nothing in order for the space to be created. We are the spaces in between the polarities. So when you ask, is Divine Mother really our mother? Only if you're ready to be a divine child. That space in between where you are free to explore the opposing polarities of creation. For many of us, we seek to usurp the power of the mother and the father because we refuse to identify as the child, forever barring us from exploring fully, completely, in totality the spaces in between the opposing polarities. We're centered in a space of love. It's a space of love. And what is love? It's not cuddly and coddly all the time. Sometimes love is the awareness of the emptiness that needs to be filled, and the awareness that you have what it takes to fill that emptiness. When you are hungry, you are to eat, not continue to starve in a way that causes you to crave more nothingness. I'm just saying. I am the child of the space in between. I am a byproduct, a physiological manifestation of this exploratory process of opposing polarities. And do they oppose each other because they're against each other? No. They oppose each other to get a better view of what the other is in order to better define who they are. I mean, for me, that's the only way to properly live. And I don't always live proper, but when I want to, when I choose to, it requires my recognition of the gravity of my placement. What's the gravity of my placement? That I am a coming together of opposing polarities, and that I can choose to be one or the other, or I can fully, truly step into my power by existing as a totality made of both. That's what I choose. To go from a duality and enter into a perpetual state of totality. I am neither just the petals or the thorns. I am the petals, the thorns, the roots, and the essence, existing in my totality is the only way I choose to live at this point. And when people can't understand, or when they refuse to understand the gravity of living in your totality, making that choice as a sovereign being, it's the equivalent of them saying the rose is less beautiful because it comes equipped with thorns. The rose is not less beautiful. You just thought you could dominate it. And in her existing as she is, you learned a very potent lesson by catching her in the thorns. The matriarch needs to be put back in her proper place. And where is that? Neither above or below, in front of or behind the patriarch. It's time for them to walk side by side like a bride and groom on their special day, walking towards the altar of creation, making divine promises of equality, of love. It's time for us to get to that space, and maybe you guys can help me better understand this. years ago. This was years ago. I don't quite know what it means despite being so heavily indoctrinated by official religious teachings. So years ago, I had this experience where I was made aware that I am the bridegroom of Christ and that I sit in the bridegroom's chamber. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. I was in this, it's like a it's almost like a big box. It's like a holding space. And there are these luxurious fabrics made of gossamer and silk, and they go down. It's four sides, and they go down. And I'm sitting there with this headpiece. It's this beautiful headpiece, and every time I breathe or move, it it clinks, and it's this amazing thing. And suddenly, a hand comes in. It comes in and it touches my face, and it places its hand on my chest. Oh my God. That's what it said. Have I told you this before, Ocean Lover? That's exactly what it said. It went like this and like this. Yes, it's time. And then I felt the chamber be lifted up. And it's like I was being transported somewhere, like walked somewhere. And I was just sitting on this amazing seat. It's like this huge cushion or something. I don't know. And I was just sitting there, and every time they walk, it'd be like clink, 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 clink. And it was this, just, yes, it's time, you know? I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means, but I distinctly, all these years later, it's stuck with me. This word, um, bridegroom's chamber. This, I don't know what that is. I've looked into it heavily, and maybe one of you would know. Maybe one of you would know because that just popped up in my head. Um, I haven't told you. Yeah. Oh my God. That's what the voice said. It was a masculine voice, and it like, and I had a veil over my face. Like pretty much every part of me was covered. But I could see through the fabric, kind of like a wedding veil. But I wasn't wearing a wedding dress. It was like some type of ceremonial something. And yeah, okay, I'm done sharing that. I don't know why I even shared that. I'm done sharing that. If you know what the F that's about, if you know um any time, nope, to Marlene. No to Marlene. I don't know if I even want to ask Michael. I'm gonna just leave that alone. Okay. All right, guys. I'll see you today, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will get that link up and running. Please give this video a thumbs up or a heart if you are watching on Facebook. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I will see you guys again later this afternoon, evening time. Okay. Okay. Um, outside of that, I hope, I really truly hope being in this space that we share together gives you more clarity on how important you are, how sacred you are. Okay. I hope you understand, or at least are beginning to understand, you're an important part of creation. All of us are. And for anyone who wants to be like a pissy pessimist, I said what I said. If you want to be a pissy pessimist and be like, well, if everyone's important, then no one is, I beg to differ. Every string in a tapestry is important, interwoven with other strings. You can't tell me the tapestry isn't ruined when you snag one of the strings. So that logic of I need to be special and no one else can be special, or else I'm not special, kindly get the fuck out of here with that. We can all be special in different ways and still maintain our specialness. Okay? Because I promise you, you can't do what I do, and I can't be the pessimist that you are. So that creates importance for both of us, because guess what? In the presence of your pessimism, I'm able to showcase my ability to transmute, which then provides people the ability, the option to consider a different way of seeing. So you and I, although opposing polarities, are each very important. We better define the purpose of the other. Don't be afraid of the presence of others. Don't be afraid to be present in front of others. Now is a time to reclaim your grace and your glory. Your grace and your glory. Rise up right back to the place you were always destined to be. Accept the fact that you already know who you are. You're just in the process of reassuring yourself that you're not wrong, that you haven't imagined. Join me, sit beside me. Don't follow me. Don't try to lead. Walk shoulder to shoulder with me. I don't need space from you. I want to feel your shoulder beside mine as I walk forward in life with no fear and an elevation of courage when there is fear. We're all equals in this space, and I actually mean that. We are all equals in this space. Embrace that about yourself. I'll see you guys today, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you'd like a reading, if you'd like a scan, if you'd like energy work, come back here, whether you get any type of notification or not. Come back here. You know, Facebook and YouTube, they're assholios. They have me on a silent ban. Fuck them anyways. Show up here, 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will see you guys then.